Hey guys, welcome back. It is spring of 2026. It is about mid-May right now. It is warm. We're doing real well. Everything is popping up. Everything is blooming and looking really good. We just moved our plants outside to start hardening before we put them into the garden next week. And we just have a lot of things going on, a lot of things on our plate right now. I thought I'd go over some broad strokes of what we have going on, what we're going to be accomplishing this year, and kind of where our direction is for bog life this year of 2026. So right now I'm going to show you some of the updates. You can see Michelle's moving some mulch behind me right now, and we've transplanted a bunch of stuff. So I'll go over some of our transplants, some of the new garden areas that we've started to create, kind of some of our projects, and answer a few questions about some updates that we have had over the last couple months. So we're going to start over here right behind me and start working our way around the house. I'll give you all the updates as I go through. So let's start going. Last year we had a crab apple that was here. We cut that down, and you can see our oak leaf hydrangea that's up here in the corner. That's still doing well. It has been nibbled a little bit by the deer, but it seems to be doing well now that the crab apple's gone. We transplanted our dogwood over here to take up the space. All of our hostas are looking a little worse for wear, but that's because they don't have any shade. As this stuff starts to grow, hopefully it'll start to take over and add some of the shade that this stuff desperately needs. We used to have, these are our burning bushes. They used to be all along here. We moved them over here to take the place of our dogwood, and hopefully we'll build this area up. We also had a 9-bark that was over here that we moved. We trimmed it down right over here. And another update are these Daub junipers. We'll see this repeating throughout the garden or throughout the front yard. We have these. They get really fill out an area and do really nice. So we have multiple areas where we have those. Mostly on all the corners of the bed. We moved our mugo pines to be spaced, and our witch hazel is now over here. We've got it spaced out and pulled apart so it'll start to grow and spread. It wasn't getting enough light while it was over here in the garden bed, so this will give it a little bit more room and space to grow. This area of the garden has been giving us a little bit of trouble lately. This is the circle garden at the front of the house where we have our septic vent. We have a smoke bush here that hasn't been coming back, so we cut it back because we do have some sprouts at the base to see if we can get it to come back. We transplanted our salvia up here. We still have our 2 Russian sages. We used to have 3, now we're down to 2. We used to have grass, 3 of them, now we're down to 1. And our lemony lace elderberries have seen better days. This is about as good as you'll see them in the front area. And about midsummer, they start to look sickly. So I don't know if it's just this area or if it's a type or if they're not getting enough water. So we've trimmed it up and we'll see how they'll fare this year. But those might be disappearing and we'll be replacing them with some evergreens in the future. But right now, we're still work in progress. We're seeing what will work and what we can keep. I'll keep you updated. And you'll see that we have back here a new update. This is the beginning of our new edging for the garden, for the front beds. We're using field stones. I've started to redesign this area to encompass our autumn blaze maple. Each one of these field stones is either taken from our stone pile that's been here for 30 years or from a newly established pile that a neighbor has been dropping off. We've continued that same rock edging all along the front edge of this portion of the bed. This one's nearly complete. It wraps all the way around the side of the house over here, and I'll be finishing that up as I find the stones. So as we get stones that are big enough, or we determine they're big enough for the wall or for the edging, we pull them aside and place them out here. Here's a good view of our Daub junipers that we have spread out throughout the yard. And that wasn't the only place where we had transplanted them. You can see we put them up over here. We've got 3 of them over here to kind of create a nice little area underneath the downstairs window. We moved all of our sedum that we had all along here. We divided up, put them over here, fill that space a little bit, along with Getting rid of all the grasses that were along the side of the garden, along the driveway. Those are all alliums now. All of these are clumped alliums, and then all of this green here is all allium. So a lot of the things that we had over in the shade garden over where the crabapple used to be, these are the Brunnera, and then we also have corabels all along the tree here. We transplanted over here because it's no longer shade garden over there since the tree is gone, and this area seems to be pretty shady, so they should take off and do real well here. So really what's been going on this spring is we've been doing a lot of transplanting and kind of reconfiguring a lot of the beds and getting them closer to what we imagine them to be. It's still a lot of work. They're not done. We still have a lot of ideas and things that we want to try out in these different areas, but we only can do a little bit at a time. So those will still continue to update throughout the year. But the next thing I'm going to talk about is kind of something that we've started working on. We've had as an issue. You can see behind me, all of this is buckthorn. And this is what's left. I'm not going to show you what I've done so far because I've got a future video coming up with that explaining it. What we've done is I've cleared about 150 feet or so of buckthorn, all from an area that's about 25 to 30 feet wide and about 100 to 150 feet long. Now we're reconfiguring and reimagining that area. That area is going to end up being a play area for our children and a new garden area. But let's head out to the backyard where I've got a few updates that have been requested and some questions. I'm going to go ahead and answer those real quick. Bloomerang lilac. One of the first things that we have a lot of questions about, and I guess it's not necessarily questions as people making comments and giving their 2 cents, and that has a lot to do with the size of our fence. Because we don't go to 7 feet, which is what's suggested for a fence to protect it from deer and wildlife. No, our fence is not 7 feet. No, we've never had deer inside of our garden. No, I'm not concerned about it. I do have a wire up here at about the 5.5 foot area, but we've never had an issue. In the 5 years I've had this, the gates stay shut, deer do not jump in, they have no area to land if they were to jump in. As for the areas along the bottom and small animals getting in, yeah, they do. But the amount of damage they cause is minimal at best. I've seen squirrels, chipmunks, rabbits, groundhogs, raccoons, all in this area, but nobody's ever disturbed the garden so far. So as far as the criticisms that this isn't a good enough fence for this area, it is. So if you feel like building it, I'll leave a link for the video. It works out great, and I have 0 issues, and I'm very happy with the way it's turned out. With that in mind, here's an update. This area right here gets a lot of sun, little to no shade year-round. It dries out pretty quick because we don't put any water back here. So what I think we're gonna do, our hose will reach all the way back here. And I think what we're gonna do is take some cattle panel fences, 16 by 16 foot area here, create a gate, and till this up and plant pumpkins and corn directly in the soil in this area. So we'll create another little garden area and see what we can work within in this space that's unused. See, when the pool comes down, the kids use the pool area as just a giant sand pit. Now this garden area, Pagoda Dogwood's doing well. Our Bloodgood Japanese Maple is doing excellent. Everything has come back and is done really well. And our newest addition to this area is our Korean Spice Viburnum. These will flower out, and the flowers are gonna have a real spicy scent to them. And it'll be nice and complementary because they'll have a nice spicy scent to them. Now, what's nice is that around the corner, we've got that bloomerang lilac that gives us a scent right now. In early spring, we have our Pachysandra, which, here's the update. We do have some weeds in here we gotta go through and pick out, but this is almost entirely Pachysandra. It is filled in nice from when we planted it about 2 or 3 years ago. It's working as a ground cover. It's doing an excellent job. We do have some bare spots, and that's where the weeds are popping up. So we may come back and try to fill in or divide and try to move some of the Pachysandra to cover those bare spots. But so far, we're very happy with how it turns out. It does have flowers in early spring that smell kind of like jasmine. So early spring, we've got our jasmine from the Pachysandra. We've got the bloomerang lilac in the beginning or late spring. And then the Korean spice will bloom and give us scents all spring. So that's really been our spring so far this year. We've had a few different areas that we tried to grow and develop last year, and we had a lot of space to fill with different plants, and we're trying to rearrange and reconfigure our plants so they're developing properly, they're filling the areas nicely, and they complement each other. So that's kind of our work in progress, and we'll keep you updated with different videos throughout the year on how things are developing. But right now, we know we need a few more plants to kind of fill their gaps. Our Korean spice I just showed you a second ago, we definitely decided that we need a third one. Those get to be about 3.5 to 6 feet wide and tall. So we want this area to be completely filled out. So we've got the different colors and scents, and this area will feel a little bit more complete once that's done. As for the direction for our channel, we're seeing a lot of traction in our DIY, and we have a lot of projects coming up. So if you're seeing this video and you're wondering when the next things are going to be coming out that are DIY or project oriented, stay tuned this year. 2026 is going to be a lot of projects. There's going to be still the gardening. There will be updates. We do have some new areas that we're developing, but we have a lot of building, a lot of exciting things coming in that we'll be putting into the different garden areas, developing new garden areas, and building new structures. So stick with us. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or suggestions, leave them in the comment section below. And as always, guys, I want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.